Hello, goddesses, gods, fairies, and everything in between. Today I'm going to touch on parents, childhood trauma, and why a spiritual and divine connection is important with your child, right? So this is for everybody, but I'm specifically talking to parents or people that are planning to become parents. This is a topic that has been uncovered. The veil has been lifted, right? Everyone's talking about it now. So this is kind of just like little pointers, little things to look at, little reminders, because we all know this information, but little reminders to catch yourself being that toxic influence on your child or another person's child, right? So, childhood trauma, traumatic events that happen during one's childhood. You may have had it. You may know a friend who has experienced childhood trauma and it's affecting them in their adult life. Now, I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on the parents. The pressure is there, but it's everyone. It can be anyone who causes these experiences for children. A happy child doesn't need a perfect parent. No one is perfect. That's impossible to ask for perfection. But a child, to make them happy, they need a happy parent. It needs to start with self first. So I would say before you even, if you're looking for your next partner, if you're that person looking for that next partner, or if you're a parent right now and you're looking to change the narrative of the relationship with your child, then start with yourself first, because that's really important. And then inspire your partner, because starting with yourself will inspire someone who who's competent on that conscious level, because there has to be a divine union in the first place. Because if you're not starting at a divine union, you're already preparing your child to have traumatic experiences. You're starting lower than where you need to be energetically for your child. So some things I would express from one parent to another, because I have two. My husband has one child from a previous relationship, and we have a child together. The game I'll put you on is pay attention. Pay attention to your child. Easier said than done. But just, why is my child acting like that? Like, we all have toxic traits, right? And it's our job to catch it and fix it. So sometimes I'll just hear my daughter acting out, crying, and I'm like, I have to look at her first and think, like, what led up to this? Sometimes kids are just like, they can't express themselves verbally, so they get frustrated, which is understandable, you know. But if you're paying attention, you won't miss the reason why your child is acting out or having a tantrum, right? And figure out why. That's important. Figure out why your child is doing this, or figure out why your child said that. Figure out why your child is being grown to you and not to everybody else. Just look at yourself and see what you've allowed to manifest in your life, and then figure out what's going on with your child. Like, okay, so there's a lot there's a lot going on. Like, my husband, he'll tap me on the butt sometimes, and then my daughter will come over and like slap my butt too, but like a little aggressive, and I'll be like, I'll look at her and I'll be like, no, 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 don't hit mommy. But you just allow daddy to slap your butt. But some people will be like, some people will turn around and legit yell this at their child. And you have to figure out, you put them in that position. You have to, I'm sorry, not figure out, but you have to understand that you put them in that position. So pay attention, figure out why your child is doing certain things. I kind of went off on a tangent with that. Another thing that's really important to me is discipline, but not abuse. I know my limits of when I get frustrated, so I try not to get to that point with my baby. Even with our 6-year-old, discipline, yes. Like, I'm always going to look you in your eye and ask you, what's wrong? What's going on? How can we fix this situation? We're here now. Let's fix it. And if they're really just acting out because they're just mad and have negative emotions at that time, discipline is necessary, but abuse is not the answer. I ask my daughter, like, pow pow, you want pow pow? Or I'll like, don't do that. Like, if she'll dig her hand in the trash, I'm looking around like, she ain't, either she's seen me or her father like drop something and pick it up, which is rare. But she ain't get that from us. Like, she need to know that that's not okay. And if we tell her to move her hand and she doesn't do it the first time, we patient with her. Milani, she don't do it the second time, no. And that's that little, oh snap, like, I just got reprimanded for that. I probably shouldn't be doing that. It's probably not okay. I don't want that done again. So it's like, and then we talk to her and let her know, like, no, you can't put your hand on the trash. That's sucio, dirty, nasty. Don't do that. So definitely discipline, talk to them, do your part as a parent in that way, but don't abuse them. Don't like hurt them because you're angry at this point. Don't ignore your child. Stay off your phone for as however long as you can. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a full-time worker and I'm a wife, but that's no excuse for me ignoring my child or me not doing my job as a mother, because just like I'm giving all these people my time and my energy, my child is more important than all of these things. So I'm not going to ignore you. I can't, like, I made you. Why would I just blatantly ignore something that I've created that is a part of me that can't do anything else for themselves? Like, I'm not going to do that. So those are things, that's some game that I would put on to you. Put the phone down. You don't even know what time I'm making this video. That's just time I have to sacrifice for my baby. To give that time to my daughter, and give them an overwhelmingly amount of healthy love. Healthy, you hear me? Just pour it onto them. Let them touch your eyes and eyelashes in your face. Let them stick their little fingers up your nose and in your mouth, up until to the point where they can't, you tell, like, they're old enough to say, oh, they can't do that. Hug on them, love on them, uplift them. Give them love. Allow yourself and your family to give them that healthy love and attention that they need. And at that note, I'm going to stop this video and go on to part 2, because we're going to get into the spiritual connection on that part and you don't want to miss it. One moment.